भवन उत्सव परम, जाओ प्रभु आयस होई। तो मैं जानू कृपाल यतन, सादर देखन होय। सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। कहो नीक मोरे मन भावा, यह अनुचित नहीं नेवट पठावा। दक्ष सकल निज सुता बोलाई, हमरे व्यर तुम हो बिसराई। ब्रह्म सभा हम सन दुख माना, तेहि ते अजहु करहि अपमाना। जाओ बिन बोले जाओ भवानी, रहे न सीलु सनेहु न कानी। जदपि मित्र प्रभु पिता गुरु मेहा, जाय बिनु बोले हो न संदेहा। तड़पी विरोध मान चाह कोई, तहाँ गए कल्याण ना होई। भांति अनेक शंभु समुझावा, भावी बस न ज्ञानोर आवा। कह प्रभु जाहु जो, कह प्रभु जाहु जो बिनहि बुलाई। नहीं भली बात हमारे भये। श्री राम जय 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 राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम। कही देखा हर जतन, बहु रहना दक्ष कुमारी। दे मुख्य गण संघ तब, विदा कीन्ह त्रिपुरारी। दीन त्रिपुरारी। पिता भवन जब गए भवानी, दक्ष त्रास काहू न सन मानी। सादर भले ही मिली एक माता। भगनी मिली बहुत मुस्काता। दक्षिण कहूँ दक्षिण कछु पूछी कुशलाता। सतही बिलो की चढ़े सब गाता। सती जाय देखे तब जागा। कतहु न दीख शंभु कर भागा। तब चित चढ़े जो शंकर कहे प्रभु अपमानु सब मुझी उर्दहे। पाछिल दुख ना हृदय अस व्यापा। जस यह भय महा परितापा। यद्यपि जग दारुण दुख नाना। सब ते कठिन जाति अवमाना। समुझी सो सती भयेहु अति क्रोधा। बहुविधि जननी कीन्ह प्रबोधा। श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। शिव अपमानु न जाई, सही हृदय न होई प्रबोध। सकल सबहि हटी हटक तब, बोली बचन सक्रोध, बोली बचन सक्रोध। सुनहु सभासद सकल मुनिंदा, कही सुनी जिन्ह शंकर निंदा। सो फल तुरत लहब सब काहूँ, भली भांति पछिताव बिताहूँ। संत शंभु श्रीपति अपबादा, सुनिय जहाँ तहाँ अस मर्यादा। काटयतासु काटयतासु जभी, काटयतासु जीभ जो बढ़ाई। श्रवण मूरी न चलिय पड़ाई। जगदात्मा महेशु पुरारी, जगत जनक सबके हितकारी। पिता मंदमति निंदता तेहि, दक्ष शुक्र संभव यह देहि। तजिहौ तुरत देहते ही हितु, उर्धरि चंद्र मौलि वृष केतु। अस कहि लोग अगनि तनुजारा, भययु सकल मख हाहाकारा। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। सती मरमु सुनि शंभुगण, लगे करण मुख खीस। यज्ञ विध्वंस बिलोकी, मृग रक्षा किन्ह मुनीस। मृग रक्षा किन्ह मुनि। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। समाचार सब शंकर पाए, बीरबधु करि कोपु पट पाए। यज्ञ विध्वंस जाय तिन्ह कीन्हा, सकल सुरन विधिवत फलु दीन्हा। भे जगदित दक्ष गीत सोई, जस कछु शंभु विमुख है कोई। यह इतिहास सकल जग जानी, ताते में संक्षेप बखानी। सती मरत हरिसन बड़ु मागा, जन्म जन्म शिव पद अनुरागा। तेहि कारण हिमगिरि गृह जाई, जनमी पार्वती तनु पाई। जब ते उमा शैला गृह जाई, सकल सिद्ध संपत्ति तह छाई। जहाँ तह मुनिन स आश्रम कीन्हे, उचित बास हिम भूधर कीन्हा। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। सदा सुमन फल सहित सब द्रुम नवनान जाति, प्रगति सुंदर सैला पर मनिया कर बहु भाति। सियापति रामचंद्र पद जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सरित सबा पुनीत जल बहाई, खग मृग मधुप सुखी सब रहाई। सहज बयरु सब जीवन त्यागा, गिरि पर सकल करहि अनुरागा। सोह शैल गिरिजा गृह आए, जिमि जनु राम भगति के पाए। नित्य नूतन मंगल गृह तासु, ब्रह्मादिक गावहि जस जासु। नारद समाचार सब पाए, कौतुक ही गिरि गेह सिधाए। शैलराज बड़ आदर कीन्हा, पद पखारी बड़ आसन दीन्हा। नारी सहित मुनि पद सिरुनावा, चरण सलिल सबु भवनु सिचावा। निज सौभाग्य निज सौभाग्य बहुत गिरि बरना। सुता बोली मेली मनु चरणा, त्रिकालज्ञ सर्वज्ञ तुम, गति सर्वत्र तुम्हारी। कहु सुता के दोष गुण, मुनि बर हृदय विचारी। मुनि बर हृदय विचारी। कह मुनि बेहसी गूढ़ मृदवानी। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। सुता तुम्हारी सकल गुण खानी, सुंदर सहज सुशील सयानी। नाम उमा अंबिका भवानी, सब लक्षण संपन्न कुमारी। होई संतत पेहि प्यारी, सदा अचल एहि कर अहवाता। एहि तेजसु पेहि पितु माता, होहि पूज्य सकल जग माही। एहि सेवत कछु दुर्लभ नाही, एहि कर नाम सुमेरी संसारा। त्रय चढ़िहि पतिव्रत सिधारा, शैल सुलक्षण सुता तुम्हारी। सुनहु जे अब अवगुण दुहचारी, अगुण अमान मातु पितु कीना, उदासीन सब संशय जीना। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। जोगी जटिल अकाम मन, नगम अमंगल वेश। अस स्वामी कहाँ मिलहि, परिहस्त असिरे। सुनि मुनि गिरा सत्य जिय जानी। दुख दंपति उमा हर्षानी। नारद हूँ यह भेद न जाना, दसा एक समुझब बलिदाना। सकल सखी गिरिजा गिरि मैना, पुलक शरीर भरे जल नैना। होई न मृषा देव ऋषि भाषा। उमा सो वचन हृदय धरि राखा। उपजयु शिव पद कमल सनेहु। मिलन कठिन मन भा संदेहु। जाने को अवसर प्रीति दुराई। सुखी उछंग बैठी पुनि जाई। छूटी न होई देव ऋषिवाणी। सोच ही दंपति सखी सयानी। उर धरि धीर कहे गिरि राऊ। कहु नाथ का करिया उपाहु। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। कहा मुनीस हिमावंत सुनो। जो विधि लिखा लीला। देव दनुज नर नाग मुनि। हो न मीट निहार। सियापति रामचंद्र पद जय शरणम। तदपि एक में कहो उपाई। होय करे जो देव सुहाई। जस बर में बरने तुम पाही। मिलहि उमहि तस संशय नाही। जय जय बर के दोष बखाने। ते सब शिव पहिर में अनुमाने। जो विहाहु शंकर सन होई। दोष गुण सम कह सब होई। जो अहि सेज शयन हरि करही। बुध कछु तिन्ह कर दोष न धरही। भानु कृसानु सर्वरस खाही। तिन्ह कहु मंदस कहत दो नाही। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम। शुभ अरु अशुभ सलिल सब बहु। सुरसरी को पुनीत न कहई। समर्थ कहूँ नहीं दोष गोसाई, रवि पावक सुर सरी की नाई। जो असही शिष करही नर, जड़ विवेक अभिमान। परहि कल्प भरि नरक महु, जीव की इस समान। सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। सुरसरी जल कृत बारुनि जाना, कहूँ न संत करहि देहि पाना। सुरसरी मिले सो पावन, जैसे ईस अनीस ही अंतरु तैसे। शंभु सहज समर्थ भगवाना, कही विवाह सब विधि कल्याणा। दुराराध्य पे अहि महेशु, आशुतोष पुण्य की कलेसु। जो तपु करे कुमारी तुम्हारी, भावियु भेट सकहि त्रिपुरारी। यद्यपि बर अनेक जग माही, एहि कहूँ शिव तजि दूसर माही। बरदायक प्रणतारति भंजन, कृपा सिंधु सेवक मनरंजन। इच्छित फल बिनु शिव अवराधे, लहियन कोटि जोग जपु साधे। श्री राम जय जय रामा, रघुपति राघव राजा रामा। रघुपति राघव राजा राम। अस कहि नारद सुमिरि हरि, गिरिजहि दीनि असीस। होई यह कल्याण अब, संशय तजहु गिरीश। सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। कही अस ब्रह्म भवनु मुनि गएउ, आगिल चरित सुनहु जस भयउ। पतहि एकांत पाए, कहे मैना नात न मैं समुझे सुनि बैना। जो घरु बरु कुल होए, अनुपा करिय विवाह सुता अनुरूपा। नत कन्या बरु रहु कुआरी, कंत उमा मम प्राण प्यारी। जो न मिले बरु गिरि जहे जोगु, गिरि जड़ सहज कहि सहु लोगु। सोई विचारी पति कहूँ, सोई विचारी पति करेहूँ बिहाहूँ। जेहि न बहोरी होए उरदाहू। अस कहि परी चरण धरि सीसा। बोले सहित स्नेह गिरीसा। बरु पावक प्रगटे शशि माही। नारद वचन अन्यथा नाही। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम, 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 राम राम भज राम भज राम भज राम, राम राम सिया राम ओ भजले राम सिया राम, भज राम सिया राम, भज राम सिया राम, राम राम भज राम भज राम भज राम, राम राम सिया राम ओ भजले राम सिया राम, भज 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 राम सिया राम। तुम ही दया के सागर प्रभु जी, तुम ही पालनहारे, तुम ही दया के सागर प्रभु जी, तुम ही पालनहारे, चैन तुम्हीं से पाए वे कल, मनवा सांझ सकारे, ओ भी तुम्हारे आश लगा ले, जो भी तुम्हारे आश लगा ले, बने उसी की का। जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, हे दुख भंजन तुम्हें पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति सीताराम जय सीताराम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम,
सीताराम जय सीताराम, भज मन प्यारे सीताराम,
रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम।
बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। समस्त जन कल्याण निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। मंगलभवन मंगलहारी द्रव दशरथ अजीर बिहारी श्री राम। सब गाए
जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई प्राण जाई बरु वचन न जाई।
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम।
बिनु सत्संग भी देख न होई राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई। श्री राम जय
जय जय राम श्री राम जय
राम कथा ते तेई अधिकारी जिन अति प्यारी। श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
राम कथा तेई अधिकारी जिन हरि संगति तेई अधि प्यारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
बरे भाग मानुष तन पावा सुर दुर्लभ सब ग्रंथ निगावा।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो 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 राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Okay, if you are joining us tonight for the first time, we are seeing now the Shiva Sati Prasanga, which is the story now being told by the great sage Yajna Jagabalik in Awadhi. That is, for those of you who are familiar with the language, what we have is the ancient language of India, Sanskrit, and then you have all the various languages which are recognized. And then in all villages you have all local languages. It is said in India is such that from village to village the taste of the water changes, and so the language also changes. There's a saying, from village to village. So in Awadhi language, Yajnavalkya is called as Jagabalik. So you will hear me using both the names. It's same person. Don't think I'm talking about two people. Jagabalik. He's telling to Bharadwaj Rishi, on the request of Bharadwaj Rishi, the Ram Katha, and he says, Ek baar Treta Jug Mahi Shambhu gaye Kumbhaja Rishi Pahi. This is where it started. Once in the Treta Yuga, Lord Shiva went to the Agastya Muni. And Agastya Muni there told Ram Katha. Sanga Sati Jagat Janani Bhavani. Sati also came along. And Bhagwan Shiva heard the Ram Katha from the great sage Agastya Muni. And hearing it, his hair stood on ends and tears came to his eyes, and he welled up with such great devotion for Bhagwan Ram after hearing all of that and all. And then they left that Agastya Muni's ashram, and they went. At that time, Bhagwan Ram was in the forest, and he had just lost Sita Ji. And while Ramayana was going on here, Lord Shiva was hearing that Ramayana Katha from Agastya Muni at the same time. So when they came to the forest now, Bhagwan Ram saw Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva saw Bhagwan Ram, and he did prostrations from distance. Jai Satchidananda, he said. Jai Satchidananda to Rama from the distance. He did not reveal himself. And now Sati, who was accompanying him, she got a great doubt. And this is where we are. What is this? This Lord Shiva, who is Jagat Bandhya, worshipped by the whole world, revered by the whole world, who is Sarvagnya, all-knowing, who is worshipped by all the gods, all that. He's doing prostration to this son of a king who is in the forest, and he calls him Hari and this and that. Then if he is Hari, he lost his wife and he's crying. This Sati's doubt. Samshaya. And Samshaya is a big thing. Sandeha. Samshaya. These are synonyms in Ramayana. Doubt. And doubt we can have with regard to worldly things, but doubt with regard to the absolute, the all-powerful, omniscient, all-pervasive God. When we have doubt, we are heading down a really bad avenue. When you have doubt with regard to that. Because you know the nature of the universe is like this. From an ordinary standpoint. Very, very ordinary standpoint. Right in front of you, you just look. Suppose when you go home now you're sitting in satsang, right? When you go home, you see on your dining table, there are plates laid out, cutlery is laid out, napkins are laid out, candle is put in place and lit and everything. When you go, you see all of these things on your dining table after returning from here. Will you, or would you, by any stroke of imagination, suggest that all of those things came on the table all by themselves? No, if anybody does that, he has to be a little bit off his rockers, isn't it? You'll not suggest that those things came on the table by themselves. The first thing that will come in your mind, or the first question that will come to your mind, who did all this? When you see the dining table arranged in a particular way, there is no question about somebody doing it. The question in your mind is, who did it? You know that the things cannot come there by themselves. Somebody did it. So that you don't question. Somebody did it, you don't question. You question who did it. And if everything is in place in this universe, the earth going around the sun, all planets going around the sun burning it at such high degrees, light coming in the morning, and all the things which you see, things are born and they grow old. It is not that they are found in the universe old and then they grow young. You're all born and you grow and you get old and then died, all of us, right? We die. It is not the other way around. Hey, you rise from the grave. You rise from a grave and then you come, people come to meet you. They take you home. And you start getting younger and younger. So when you come out from the grave, you have all your teeth and everything. Or whatever, you see. Dentures. And somewhere along the line, you get back your teeth. And again down the road, you lose it. Because you're getting younger. Anything, you still like that? No. The world and the rules that govern this world, they are laid down and they are held in place fast. Nobody can break them. You try to reverse it. What you'll reverse? Can't reverse anything. That is the way it is. And if everything is already put in place, see the human being. When he goes home and sees the dining table fixed, he doesn't question whether it was fixed by itself or somebody fixed it. That question doesn't come in his mind. The question is just who. But when he sees this universe, everything perfectly in place, he questions. Is that God or what? Maybe it all just happened by itself. And he becomes atheist. Well, no God, I never see him. Because you never see him, there's irrational. What? I never see God. So he doesn't exist. So that thing is called as samshaya, the doubt in the existence of a higher principle in the universe. That thing is called as samshaya. The doubt in the omnipotence, omnipresence. The doubt in the omniscience of that reality. And all things relating to that reality is called as samshaya. It is also called sandeha. I mean, this comes in, these are the two words which are used in the Ramcharitmanas. And anybody who is heading down that road is really going to get himself into trouble. And this is exactly what is going to happen to Sati now. What happened? When they came, we saw last night, for those of you who are not there, quickly I will tell, when they came back now to Kailash, Bhagavan Shiva knew that this Sati, she had doubt in her mind. And then he suggested, well, you go and you make a test and see whether it is really Ram, Lord of the universe. Test and see. But test, and he'll use two words. One is do vichar, think, and the other discriminate properly, viveka. But she went there and she only did vichar. And no discrimination, no viveka. And what? She took the form of Sitaji and went in front of Bhagavan Ram. Well, when Bhagavan Ram said, Ma, what are you doing here alone? Where is Pitaji, Bhagavan Shiva? Bhagavan Ram immediately recognized. It is Sati. It is not Sita. She gets scared and she run away. She run back to Kailash. And Bhagavan Shiva asked, you tested? You tested? She said, no. I didn't test. I just went there and I see him and I do pranam and I come back. Not totally, she went and did a wrong thing. She tried to cover up the wrong thing also. Listen to Lord Shiva. This is number 55 now, if you have your Ramayana. Everything in the Ramayana is so hilarious and so funny, actually. If you could see it in its original language. समीप महेश तब हसी पूछी कुशला तो राम हसी पूछी कुशला लीनी परीक्षा कवन विधि कहूँ सत्य सब बात सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम. Lord Shiva asked, Lini Paricha? Kavana Vidhi? You took the test. How? What you did? What test? And Lord Shiva is Hasi Puchi Kusala. He's asking, but he's laughing. And in the end, the last phrase he says, Kahau Satya Sababat. Tell now and tell the truth. What that means? He laughing and he telling to Sati, tell how you tested him and tell the truth. But why a husband has to tell his wife to tell the truth? You understand what I'm meaning? Sati's reply. This is very deep. 2 lines down. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram
Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
जो तुम कहा सो मृषा न होई, मोरे मन प्रतीति अति सोई। श्री राम
Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
तब शंकर देखे उधरी ध्याना, सती जो कीन चरित सब जाना। श्री राम जय राम,
Jai Jai Rama.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
जो तुम कहाँ सो मृषा न होई. When he asked, how you tested? She said, no, I did not test. What does he need to test? Whatever you told, that cannot be untrue, could never be false. You told that is the Lord of the universe. Sati says to Bhagavan Shiva, you told that he is the Lord, that cannot be false. He has to be. More mana pratiti ati soi. I have great faith in what you said. All this is not true. Tab sankar dekhe udhari dhyana. Then Lord Shiva went inside when he heard. Because he just told, tell the truth. He went inside. Dhyana. Then Sati jo keen charit sab jana. And in his mind's eye, he saw everything that Sati had done. She went there and she took the form of Sitaji and went, Lakshman saw first, Rama saw, he saw everything in his mind's eye. And he took now immediately a sankalp. See, 2 lines down again. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai
Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama.
सती कीन सीता कर बेशा, शिव और भय विषाद विशेषा। श्री राम जय
जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
जाओ अब करऊ सती सन प्रीति, मित tremendous turning point in the Ramayana. All this is not meant to make Sati look bad or anything else like that. I'll tell you just now what it is all meant for. This is a very interesting part of Ramayana, most wonderful thing. Sati keen Sita kara besha. Sati took the form of Sitaji. This is the first thing. In Lord Shiva's mind now. This is his thought process, which is going on in his mind. She took the form of Sitaji. And Tulsidashi describes when he thinks about it now, what results in his mind. Siva ura bhayo bishad bisesha. Because Yajna is telling. Great sorrow descended upon his heart for Satiji doing that. Bishad bisesha means extreme sorrow came to his heart of Lord Shiva. And now he thinks, resolves in his mind. Jo ab karo sati sana priti mitai bhagati patu hoi aniti. And now, if I continue to love Sati as my wife, all things will fall apart. What will happen? Mitai bhagati. The devotion which I have for Rama as my own father and Sitaji as my mother, that thing will be shattered. Because Sati now took the form of Mother Sita. Then, Pathuhoi Aniti. On this spiritual path, there will be adharma, aniti. Because one sees his own mother as God. Now Sati has taken that form. I have to see Sati as my mother, not my wife anymore. So this type of thought process entered his mind. And Lord Shiva took then a sankalpa. Now just next line, see. We have to go line by line, we can't leave anything. Because a very interesting thing is unfolding. पुनीत न जाई तजी किए प्रेम बर पाप. She is very pure hearted. Now see just now. She is telling untruth to the husband. This, that. Still Lord Shiva is saying she is very pure hearted. I want you to pay attention to this thing in Ramayana. See, let me tell you the meaning of the verse and we'll come back to this point. Very interesting point. Through the Ramayana. Parama Punit, supremely pure-hearted she is. Na jai taji kiye prema bar pap. So I cannot drop her, leave her, because she is very pure-hearted. And at the same time, kiye prema bar pap. But to love her as my wife, that is a big sin. Second line. Pragati na kahat mahe sukachu hridaya adhika santapa. It means to say, he did not express any of these things to Sati, but in his heart, a great turmoil was going on. Because now he can't drop her, and he cannot have her as his wife also, because she has taken the form of his mother. So even though she just came and she did all of these things, Lord Shiva is saying she is very pure, and not only simple, parama punita, supremely pure-hearted. And in Ramayana, I mentioned on one of the previous days, and please catch a hold of this very important point in Hindu scriptures. I want you to catch a hold of this. There is first and foremost an absolute acceptance of the opposite gunas in Prakriti. First step. In Prakriti, there are different types of gunas, what we call as bhala and abhala. Means, or what in English, good and evil. There is in the atom positive and negative. And the whole, this fact ripples throughout the whole Prakriti. This fact is first and foremost accepted in Hinduism. Second thing, second point, means this is the first an observation. Second point, not only is it accepted in Hinduism, but it is also accepted as necessary for the Prakriti to exist. Because if you remove any side of that pair of opposite, we call it dvandva in Sanskrit. Here in Gita and Ramayana also it is there. It will come. Dvandva. Dvandva means the pairs of duality with the pairs of opposites. Not only is it accepted or recognized, but it is accepted and recognized as absolutely essential for the existence and persistence and perpetuation of the Prakriti. If it is not, then the Prakriti will dissolve. If you remove one of the charge from the atom, what will happen? Sab kuch mit jayega. Everything will disappear. You can't. So, in your estimation of good and a good person and an evil person now, what you have to do? Let me tell you the litmus test in this Ramcharitamanas. So it is not, Sati, now she came here and she told untruth to the husband. But that is not accepted by any of us, isn't it? We think it is bad. But Bhagavan Shiva does not cast her out as an evil person. And the litmus test in this Ramayana, Tulsidas himself explains. We'll come across those verses as we go along. But I'll tell you how he explains this. And this is how it is to be understood in Hinduism. He tells at other places, when Ravan died, please see this, when Ravan died, when Bali died, these people, both Vibhishana and here Sugriva, they took the wife of the elder brother. If you read Ramayana properly, you will see this. Both cases. And Bhagwan Ram protected both of them and made them kings. Vibhishana became the king of Lanka. Sugriva became the king of Kishkinda. And when Bali took the wife of Sugriva, Bhagwan Ram killed him. And Tulsidas says, what a Ram. When one brother do the same thing, he kill him. One brother do the other same thing, he make him king. Bali asked Bhagwan Ram, look, we have a family feud going on, right? Family feud means what? My brother Sugriv came here, took the kingdom. I was locked in that cave. I came, I gave him a beating, he ran away. And for a long time, he trying to remove me also. He's trying to find the right person to remove me. And look, he find you now. To remove me. So he trying to find somebody to remove me and all that. This is a family feud which is going on between two brothers. How you come in that? Means why you came into it? All of that sort of questions. And in the end, when all of these questions come up, see, I'll tell you some more things, not in Ramayana. This is the Puranas now. You go, you read. You see, Puranas you'll see. When the Asuras, the demons, bad translation, but we helpless now. Not helpless actually, we can use the word Asuras only. Forget about translating into English. When the Asuras do bad things, we say, oh, they are so bad. See, Mahabali went there in Indraprastha, what do you call that? Indralok, beat out Indra, throw him out, and sit down on his throne. Mahabali Asura. He sit down on Indra's throne now. So we say, what? All the devatas gone, they become vagrant, running here, running there, all about. And when they do something bad, we say, these are bad fellows. Indra has done worse things than these fellows also. It was Indra who took the form of Gautam Rishi and came and defiled Ahalya. Indra. So he doing worse things than them Rakshasas also, than the Asuras. And still, Bhagavan has, as though, one-sidedness for Indra and all the Devatas, in spite of them doing all the wrong things. And when the Asuras do wrong things, he against them. So throughout the scriptures, it appears as though Bhagavan is one-sided, and therefore we are left, you see, one-sided with Vibhishana and Sugriva against Bali and Ravan. It appears like that. And then the big question which arises in scriptures is, on what basis Bhagavan chooses to support this side and not that side? And if you search all the scriptures, you will come up with only one answer to this question. And the answer is, Bhagavan chooses to support the side who has devotion for Bhagavan. Bhakti. In the language of the Dharma Shastras, that is called as Dharma. In the language of the Bhakti Shastra, Ramayana, and like this one, and different places, it is called as the one who have love for Bhagavan. Because if you see the Asuras, the moment they get some power from Bhagavan, Bhasmasur, he gets power from Bhagavan, he want to try it on Bhagavan only. Isn't it? The moment he get the power, the moment they get power. See, Hiranyakashipu. He tells his son, Prahlad, you stop chanting this Om Shri Vishnave Namaha. You chant Om Shri Hiranyakashapave Namaha. That is what you should chant. In other words, the Asuras have this quality. The moment they get power, they feel that they are bigger than Bhagavan only. When anybody said, I'm Shri Ram, in Ravan's court, anybody said Shri Ram, Ravan said, Shri mat kaho, Ram kaho. Don't say Shri. What Shri he is? Say Ram. You should not put that Shri in front. So Ravan felt he had all the gods under his control. Who is this Ram? Who is this person, some hermit living in the forest and this and that? So they feel that they are bigger than God. And that is the one misstep The Devatas never make. You understand this thing? Though the Devatas will have same bad qualities. Indra will have the same bad qualities. But they have in their mind the supremacy of Bhagwan in their mind. And the Asuras, the moment they get some power, they feel they're bigger than Bhagwan. And that is the basis on which Bhagwan chooses who to support and who not to support. Because that quality is the quality that will lead to the protection of dharma. Because yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. My dear, when there's a decline of dharma, I come to again re-establish dharma. So the Devatas have the qualities, Vibhishan and Sugriva, they have the qualities that will lead to the protection of dharma. And the Asuras, they actually come to destroy dharma only. So, the person will be pure and impure on this basis. So even though Sati just told a lie to Lord Shiva, he himself now claims immediately in the next verse itself, in the Doha which we Paramapunitana Jaitachi. And therefore I can't drop her. Because she's extremely pure. She has the quality of the, and she herself, we were seeing yesterday, how she was telling, my Lord Shiva is Jagat Bandya. Worshipped by the whole world. All the Devatas worship him. He's supremely omniscient and everything. She has that quality. This is Bhagwan. He's the supreme Lord of the universe. You see? That is the purity which he's talking about. And there's an acceptance that the world will have its duality like that. All these things which I told you before. Anyway, this is Shastra Vichar has to be done like this. All these things which I'm just telling you, they call Shastra Vichar. You have to reflect again and again on Shastras. So his heart had great pain now knowing, look at the predicament that he has found himself in. And he cannot have her as his wife also. Cannot drop her and he cannot have her as his wife. In the next verse. His final decision. This after number 56. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Tab Shankar Prabhu Pad Sirunawa. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Sumirat Ram Hridaya As Awa. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Ehi san sati bhet mohi nahi. Kalp ki naman mahi. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. As bichari shankaru mati dhira. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Chale bhavan sumirat raghubira. Ramachandra ki jai. Taba Shankar Prabhu Padasiru Nava. Lord Shiva did pranam to Bhagwan Ram. Sumirata Ram Hridaya Asa Ava. And remembering Ram, this thought came to his mind. What is the thought? Ehi sana satihi bhet mohi nahi. In this form of sati, which she has, this body which sati has, I can never ever touch her anymore. That is the end of it. Siva sankalpa ki namana mahi. He took a sankalpa. Ghora sankalpa. Asavichari sankarumati thira. Thinking like this. Chale bhavana sumirata raghuvira. He went inside his place, remembering Bhagwan Ram. And he, now very interesting thing. All wife and husband and all, they will know all of these things better than me. I know because I read in Ramayana. Wife and husband get to know the hard way. I know the easy way. Bhagwan Shankar did not tell this thing to Sati. From today, I am not going to have any relationship with you as wife. Over. Done. And he say nothing to. That is only in the mind. So Sati, see that he is not talking, he this, that. What happened? You are talking. Sometimes when you're not talking, you don't know what is. One wife and husband, they gone to some highfalutin party somewhere, So all the ladies in the party, they were talking about Beethoven. Not Beethoven, Mozart. The other one. They were talking about Mozart. So this wife and husband now reached. That is the wife gone and she joined that group of wives talking there. Oh, Mozart, she said. Mozart, I know him well. As a matter of fact, only last week I see Mozart getting on bus number 10 to Long Island. Mozart lived me know when. She told me she seen him last week. When the husband hear that now, he get vexed. He holds her hand and pulls her out from the group. He said, come. Pulls her outside and pulls her by the car. He opened the door and sit down. And he gone around and goes, I drive off. He driving, going home. And now he's not talking. Quiet. So the wife said, what happened? Why are you quiet? I say something wrong. She asked a few times. He's still quiet. After long, almost reach home now. Why are you quiet? You are saying nothing. He said, you're so stupid. You see Mozart getting on bus number 10 to Long Island? You ever know bus number 10 does go to Long Island? Bus number 10 to go to Long Island. He also, I know Mozart lived some other time. But anyway, that, now I just see it in television show, they call it silent treatment. I don't know what is that. You treat them with silence. Either side. Sometimes the wife gives the silent treatment and the husband gives the silent treatment. But anyway, now Lord Shiva gave the silent treatment. Just say nothing. Now, how she going to know what he thinking in his mind now? But Lord Shiva is very compassionate also. Even though he did not say anything, because he is all-powerful, omnipotent. Because Sarva Shaktiman Ishvaraha, Bhagwan. Chalata gagan bhai gira suhai. Akashvani now tell the whole thing. Because the influence of Bhagwan. Akashvani means the voice from space. Jaya Mahesh Bali Bhagati Dridhai. Akashvani blurted out from space. The voice from space. Praising Lord Shiva and his Sankalpa. And when she heard this, she didn't say the Sankalpa, it only praised. When she heard this, she thought, Now see, this is now after number 57. after number 57. See that? Just 2 chopais down. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai
गाइए।
Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
शंकर रुख अवलोकी भवानी प्रभु मोहित जे हृदय कुलानी.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
निज अग समुझन कछु कहि जाई. श्री राम जय राम
Jai Jai Ram.
तपई अवाइव उर अधिकाई. श्री
Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
शंकर रुख अवलोकी भवानी प्रभु मोहि तजेउ हृदय अकुलानी. She surmised from Akashvani, because the Akashvani is praising Lord Shiva for having taken such a ghora sankalp and having done this and having done that. She surmised that Bhagavan Shiva has dropped me. And Akulani, her mind became terribly disturbed by this. And the next line is very nice. And this is, Bhavani is playing a role, eh? Jagat Janani Bhavani she is. She's playing a role for all of us. Don't think that there is anything amiss going. Bhagavan Ram is playing one role, she is playing another role. And how wonderfully she is playing this role also. Nija aghas samujina kachu kahi jai. Understanding. See the line, eh? This line, these are the lines that really bring transformation in the personality. Anybody who can take the lines to heart will transform the personality very fast. Understanding her own transgression, her own mistake. A word which is given here, agha. Agha means sin. Understanding her own sin, which she did. And one after the next. Having taken the form and then come back and telling the untruth also. Nija agha, one's own mistake, sin, one's own transgressions, one's own adharma, whatever one has done. We can say mistake, wrong thing. Samuji na kachu kahi jaye. She could not say a word. Now that is a deep bout of sincerity. If a person really is sincere about accepting his own sin, he will not be able to say anything. He will just have to stay quiet. So Lord Shiva, Sati could not say a word. She understood that Lord Shiva has left her. Tapai, awa eva ura atikai. Awa is a, I don't know if you know, here in near our ashram, just north of the ashram, there are many kumhars, pot makers. Out of clay they make pot. But when they are finished, they have to put that thing in an oven. A blast furnace or something. And the fire that has to bake that thing is tremendous. So her heart was like that, fire. Like the fire inside the oven of a kumhar. Our word is used there. So, this is how she felt. But you see, still she did not say a word. And Bhagavan Shiva now, after all of this, he went into samadhi. Very interesting. Even if she said a word, he went into samadhi. Samadhi in English is what? Samadhi is not meditation. There is no English word for that. He went into samadhi. That's the word. Then he stayed in that samadhi for 87,000 years. The Tulsidashi's words. After that long time, this is now after number 59. Bite samvat sahasra satasi taji samadhi shambhu abhinasi. After 87,000 years, he opened his eyes. And Tulsidashi describes in the next line, when he came out of samadhi, so nice it is. Ram naam siv sumiran laga, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram naam siv sumiran laga,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Jane usati jagat pati jaga,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Sambhu pad bandhanu kina,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Sanmukh sankar asan dina,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
lage kahan hari katha rasala,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
dach prajes bhaye tehi kala,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
jai Raghu Rama,
Jai Raghu Rama.
jai Sita Rama,
Jai Sita Rama.
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. Ram naam siva sumiran lage, janev sati jagatapati jage. Lord Shiva came out of samadhi after 87,000 years. And what is the first thing that comes out of his mouth? Ram, Ram, Ram. Like when Vibhishan in Sundarkand, we'll see again. Vibhishan gets up in the morning. Ram naam sumirana kaha. Means he says the name of Ram, waking up in the morning. These two things. Whatever we go to sleep with, we wake up saying same thing only. And whatever we go into samadhi with, we also wake up saying, come out saying same thing. So you could understand what Lord Shiva said when he went into samadhi. Ram, Ram, Ram. Like that. Jai Sambhu Padas Bandhanu Kinha. Sati came and did pranam. She knew he had woken because she knew he had come out from samadhi because she heard Ram, Ram, Ram. This is a simple thing we hear all the time. When you hear gali coming from my neighbor, you know today is Friday, he drunk. Or whatever thing like that. Huh? From hearing one thing, you could tell another thing. You know? She heard Ram, Ram, Ram. That means she came out of samadhi. She went and she did pranam. Then, Sanmukha Sankara Asanu Dinha. What is very interesting. Immediately, Tulsidas, Lord Shiva is putting everything into practice according to the sankalpa. Sanmukha asana dinha. Sankar. Bhagavan Shiva gave a seat to her in front of him, right in front. How we put the sankalpa into gear there, into operation, implementation immediately? Because Nilambuja, not Nilambuja, Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendraharam Sadavasantam Hridayar Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami. Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami. Along with Lord Shiva, along with Parvati, he does salutations to Lord Shiva in the verse. And our Parvati is what? Ardha, half. Ardha Deha, half of his body. And which half? Left half. And so any picture you see of Shiva Parvati, where you see Parvati sitting on his left side. So he's supposed to give her a seat on his left side as wife. But now immediately he puts her to sit in front. Whatever sankalp he took, he put it into practice immediately also. And to Tulsidas, she doesn't fail to write the word also. Sanmukha. And Sanmukha is a big thing in our tradition also. Guru Shishya is supposed to be Sanmukh. Sanmukh means face to face. This is the English translation. Sanmukh means face to face. The tradition for Guru and Shishya is face to face. You can't have the... That's why I see when I come here, I turn this thing a little bit here. Turn and move a few things here. The tradition is like that. Please remember this word. This word comes throughout scriptures. What is the word? Sanmukha. Sanmukha. We have a Sanmukha tradition. Face to face. So Guru Shishya tradition is always Sanmukha. And here, you see, Pati Patni is not Sanmukha. She Ardha Angi, half limb. A limb is always with the body. So he's always on one side. This side or this side. If rituals are going on, she's sitting on right side. Ordinary things, sitting on left side. So this is side by side. Ardhangi. But here's, this is Sanmukh. And sitting in front now, he tells, what? Tehi kahana harikatha rasala. He told now Ram Katha to her. Harikatha. He related to Sati. Interesting. Huh? At that time, Tulsidaji introduces in the same chopai. At that time, Dacha Praje Sabhe Tehi Kala. Tehi Kala means at that time. Her father, Daksha, became Prajes. Means Prajapati. Daksha now. Before he was only Daksha, the son of Brahmaji. Until at that point, he was only Daksha. Now Daksha Prajapati he became. He was given a title by his father. In other words, the father gave him oversight over all the beings which the father is manifested. Now you are the boss. You oversee all these beings. Father made Daksha. Whose father? Sati's father is Daksha. And his father is Brahmaji. Brahmaji made him Prajes, means Prajapati. Now see Tulsidaji's comment. I did not put it on the list there, but now you'll see where writers get all the things from. You know, they are written long years ago, many years ago. Bade adhikar dachha jab pawa.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Bade adhikar dachha jab pawa.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Ati abhiman hriday tab awa.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Nahi ko as jan ma jag mahi. Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Syamar Ramachandra ki Jai. But Adhikar, Daksha jab pawa, when Daksha got this position, new position, or this is Sati's father, huh? He got a new position. Daksha Prajapati, the overseer over all of the manifested universe, all beings. Father promoted him. Tulsidaji says, Ati Abhiman Hridaya Abhi Taba Ava. Great Abhiman came upon that Daksha because he got new position, highest position, just under his father, Brahmaji. And Tulsidaji's comments. What? Nahi ko asa janama jagamahi prabhuta pai jahi madanahi. No, there is no being in this world who gets power and doesn't become corrupted by that. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts? Absolutely. The ideas are all there from long time. There are exceptions to that. This same Ramayana will come in Ayodhya Kand. Bhagwan Ram tells to Lakshmana, a mosquito will quicker blow away Mount Sumeru. A mosquito can't blow anything, you know. Bhagwan Ram tells to Bharat, a mosquito will quicker blow away Mount Sumeru than Bharat get the kingdom of Ayodhya and become corrupt. How Bhagwan Ram tells about his brother Bharat. That we'll see when we get there. But so those are the exceptions. But here Tulsidas said that among the human beings, there is nobody who gets power and doesn't become corrupt, arrogant, corrupt, like that. So when Daksha got that power now, he became corrupt. Now what he did? Daksha is going to be installed as Prajapati. He made a big Yajna. Sati's father made a big Yajna now. And he invited all the gods, all the Devtas and all. He invited all of them except Brahmaji, Vishnu and Lord Shiva. Triputi. He invited everybody except these three. And now, Sati looked in the sky and all the gods were going in their UFOs, you know. They're going to her father's yajna. And she wondered where they are going. And she inquired and she found out that her father has made a huge yajna. Now see, this is after 61. She told, Pita Bhavana Utsava Parama. Jao, this is 61. Jao Prabhu Ayasud Hoi. Tau me jao Kripayatana. Sadar Dekhana Soi. Now please see this. Prajapati, Daksha Prajapati, he invited all the gods and he left out Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh for different reasons. For different reasons. And Sati finds out that her father has made, and she has not gotten an invitation. Lord Shiva and Sati did not get an invitation. So she tells to Lord Shiva, can I please go? I want to go there. Lord Shiva said, what you will do there? I could just watch, you know. You go to somebody, this is a Mahayajna, not any simple yajna. All the gods are there. I just go and watch. Dekhan. The word is Dekhan Soi. Sadar, just simply Sadar. Means simply I will just watch. But you get invited. You see, let me tell you something. I don't know in your household when you grew up, but I know in my household when we grew up. If you do get invited somewhere, you're not going, correct? You see where it comes from? From Ramayana only. So Lord Shiva, listen to his own words. This is now number 61. 61 ke baad, after number 61, see that. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. 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 Kahe unik more hu man bhava. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Yah anuchit nahi nevat paava. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Yah anuchit nahi nevat paava. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Dach sakal nij suta bolai. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Hamare bayar tum visrai. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama. Jai Raghu Rama. Jai Raghu Rama. Jai Sita Rama. Jai Sita Rama. She wants to go, and Lord Shiva is telling, Kahehu नीक मोरे मन भावा यह अनुचित नहीं नेवत पठावा. This is not in my mind, my dear Sati. This is not a good thing. You want to go, but we did not get an invitation to go there. Daksha sakala nijasuta bolai. Daksha invited all his other daughters, 8, 9 of them. Hamare bayar tumau bisarai. And because of me, he did not invite you. What because of me? What happened once there was some other function and Lord Shiva was there and Daksha came in. This is the previous promotion. He had a promotion before also. And I was present there. And when Daksha walked in, everybody got up from their seat. And I didn't get up. So Daksha felt insulted that I didn't get up. Because when the boss walks in, everybody should get up. And Lord Shiva did not get up, and Daksha vexed with me since that. Brahma Sabha, it was in Brahmaji's Sabha. All things. Anyway, so because of me, he didn't invite you. And I do not think that it is a good idea for you to go there. Ka Prabhu Jahu Jo Binahi Bolaye Nahi Wali Baat Hamare Bhaye. That to go anywhere without an invitation, in my mind, that is not a good thing. Lord Shiva is telling. The Lord himself is telling. But Lord Shiva is realizing more and more now, this thing is not having any impact on Sati's mind. She mind set on C number 62. कही देखा हर जतन बहु रहै न दक्ष कुमारी राम रहै न दक्ष कुमारी दिए माख्यगन संगतव विदा कीन त्रिपुरारी सिया पर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम पवन kai dekha har jatan bahu. Jatan means efforts. Bahu jatan. Lord Shiva made all efforts to explain to Sati why she should not go there, but Rahi Nadacha Kumari. But he could not prevent her from going. Actually, throughout the Ramayana, this is there. Bhagwan Ram told Sita ji, you stay with Amma. Yeah? You stay with his Amma. Means Kausalya Amma. Sita ji said, you say what you want, I go in. Huh? In Ramayana, this is there or not? Diye mukhya gana sangataba vidaki na tripurari. Daksha, Lord Shiva sent with her, realized that she's going. I tell him, she's not a good idea to go. But she going. So he sent some mukhya gana, some of his followers, chief followers. Okay, you go with her. He sent. Well, this story is not going to unfold very nicely at all. And let me close by telling, which I told you before I will tell. That we should not think anything bad about Sati and this and that and all that sort of thing, because of a very important reason. There are deep philosophical threads running throughout all of this also. Tulsidashi describes previously, we could not see all the verses, we chant all the verses, but he describes his Ramcharitamanas like, and he uses the word also, Purain. You know, if you see in a pond, lilies, and you see the leaves, the flowers and all that, lilies in a pond, what you see on the top is just beautiful looking leaves and flowers. But on the bottom, what you have are all the root systems connected with each other. So he describes these chopais and all like that, using the word also, Purain. Purain means those root systems and those vines which are there underneath, connecting one root to the next. All that you don't see from above. And the Ramcharitmanas is like that also. Now, let me just do the connection, some connection, little bit. I don't want to bore you with all philosophical things. A little bit. In beginning, Bhavani Shankaro Vande. Mangalacharan first. Shraddha Vishwasa Rupinau. Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti. Siddha Swantastham. This we saw on the first night. Bhavani and Shankar, they are Shraddha and Vishwas. Shraddha means faith. Vishwas means belief. If you want to translate it, rough translations in English, you can't get exact translations in English. Please keep that in mind always. So there, Bhavani Shankaro Vande, I do salutations to Bhavani and Shankar, who are Shraddha and Vishwas, respectively. Now, Bhavani, who is called as Shraddha, is displaying absolute absence of Shraddha here. Because when she is told by Shankar Bhagwan, when she is told by Agastya Rishi about this Rama being the Parabrahma, the absolute reality of this world, Ishvara, Sarvagnya, Sarvavyapi, Sarvashaktiman, Ishvara. When she is told all of these things, Shraddha is not there. And she is the very embodiment of Shraddha. And how she doesn't have Shraddha? Well, in the very same way, the Jiva is the very embodiment of Satchit Ananda. Tulsidaji himself, right. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya
जीव अविनाशी, चेतन अमल सहज सुख राशि।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
The jiva essentially Sachitan, Chetana, Amal, Sahaja, Sukha, Rashi. These are just simpler words for Sachit, Ananda. Chaitan means Chaitanya, consciousness. Chit, all same. So the jiva is this nature. But how you don't see the jiva? You see, nature is Ananda, bliss. And this fellow is anything but Ananda. The jiva. A whole day he crying, miserable. Miserable fellow, even though his nature is Anand. So they say, here, she is the very embodiment of Shraddha, but there is an absolute absence of Shraddha in this sati. So then we ask how and why and wherefore. And therefore, she is playing the role that the jiva has to go through in order to bring out his Sachit, to manifest his nature. To manifest his own nature, he has to go through. Like when you put gold into fire and you burn him well, then the gold shines, isn't it? All the dross and all the dregs and everything come apart, and the gold shines. Well, Sati is playing that role to demonstrate to us what the jiva has to go through. She's the very embodiment of Shraddha, and then there is no Shraddha here, no faith. So she has to go through now. Tapa, burning. Tapa means burning. The literal meaning of tap in Sanskrit is to burn. Means she has to go through trials and tribulations and difficulties and all such things, experiences that bring lot of sorrow and all such things. When the person goes, and please pay attention to this other truism in this jagat. Is sansar mein, in this jagat, in this sansar, nobody evolves by sukha. All evolution takes place only by dukkha. Sukh mein sumiran, dukh mein sumiran, sab kare. Sukh mein kare, na koi. In sorrow only everybody remember God. Everybody remember the absolute. Everybody remember reality, Ishvara. Whatever people remember. Only in sorrow. In sorrow only I metamorphosize. In sorrow only, when there is, this is a truism also about nature. When there are tensions in the environment, the organism metamorphosizes, the organism evolves. This is true in biology. You ask the biology teacher. So the evolution comes, rehabilitation comes through stress and strain and dukkha and all the tension, all these things. Sati's life is going to go through that thing. So don't think that Sati is, she doesn't know, she's Jagat Janani Bhavani. But she is demonstrating how the jiva has to, what the jiva has to go through. And this is the last point then before I close for the night. And that is, when we are going through anything like that in our life, we should not see it as something negative. That is the way we evolve. All such things are there in the universe for our own evolution only. Because in sukha, in joy, nobody evolves. If we devolve in joy and revolve, but we evolve in dukkha. Therefore, Kunti, when Bhagavan Krishna was going, Bhagavan told to Kunti, Prabhu, Kunti, please tell me what boon you want before I go. Kunti said, Prabhu, you give me dukkha every day, because in dukkha I remember you. In sukha I never remember you. Okay. So, Bhagavan Shiva sends Sati out with these attendants. She goes there. Real trouble going to start now. But our trouble will start tomorrow. Okay, so we'll end here now, and we will pick it up tomorrow in St. Helena. What do you call? Ramjit and Basu Mandir. That's the Hari Prasad and family. Ramjit and Basu Hari Prasad and family in St. Helena. Those of you who can make it, please do join. A very special thank you to Heritage Radio 101.7 FM for coming and carrying this thing live to people everywhere. A special thank you to Girish ji and his group of people who came and chanted Ramayana, all the youngsters. Ramayana is in good hands, man. All the youngsters taking over. The real thing. Okay. We have our bookstall here out also on this side. Please have a look. There are many titles and there are little tokens that you can buy also to give us gifts and all. Better give a book as a gift rather than cheesecake. Book you'll have for their whole life. Cheesecake will finish the same day, and not only that, it will leave bad cholesterol also. All right. We would like to make a small presentation of prasad to Deepkesh from the temple here. This is the whole Ramayana word for word. We sang and we explained also back in 2017. Here we are skipping and we are going over fast, but this is the whole thing. So please come and not present. Oh, sorry. On behalf of the mission and all the members and all, please accept this little token from all of us. Jai Shri Ram. Thank you. Yes. Somebody will say a few words before we have the Aarti. Please do. Before Aarti, you know.
Sitaram Swamiji. A special welcome to each and every one of you. And Swamiji, anytime you need this facility, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Special thanks to each and every one of you who left the comfort of your home to be here tonight, And indeed, it's a wonderful gesture. To the devotional group, excellent singing. I see two small friends in the back there. Up to mark, pal. Dharma is in good hands. So again, special thanks. Sitaram.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की आवत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद सुखसन बरनी पवन सुत कीरति
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की
आवत वेद पुराण अष्टदश छौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनि जन धन संतन को सर्वस सर हंस सम्मत सब ही
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपि की
आवत संतत शंभु भवानी अरुघत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि बर्ज बखानी काग भुषुंड गरुड़ के ही
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपि की
निर्मल हरनि विषय रस पीति सुबग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की दलन रोग भव मूरी अमीति कांत मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियति आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियति
श्री राम जय 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 राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव।